Welcome all sports fans and everyone across the nation. This is Tuesdays with TJ episode number 6. I am your host, Carlos Clayton, along with my co-host, PJ, and of course the big homie in the building, y'all, TJ Tracy 2378. This is calling TJ, y'all. It is what it is. Thank y'all for the love and the support, man. We are live, you guys. What an awesome week one. We'll break down all of week one action. We'll break down the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. We'll talk about, it was a lot of ugly going on in
It was
week
very
one.
ugly.
But we'll break down all of that and a lot more, you guys, on this very special episode. Our first regular season episode
Let's
of
go.
Tuesdays with TJ. TJ, what's good, man? How you feeling, brother?
I'm doing well. I am so happy football's back, but then obviously seeing the teams play for the first time, you've got some concerns. And it also shows no matter how much football you watch, you don't know nothing half the time. We had 2 weeks talking about the Rams sucking, and they come out and look like they did. So
Man, I'm telling you, like that's how the NFL always is, though, man. And just when you think you know something, you don't know
yeah,
something. If you guys see our records on top, man, I represent Team N through Z, and T represents Team A through M. At the end of the year, after all 17 weeks are done, we'll go ahead and whoever is the winner of that, someone name that starts with the letter N through Z or the letter A through M, depending on who wins, is going to win $200 at the end of the year. So we got a little wager going on, you guys. And right now I have the early one-game lead. It
yeah,
was crazy how it
yeah.
came down to Buffalo versus New York, and honestly, I thought that was going to be a done deal for New York after the bad man went out. But we'll talk about that in just a moment, y'all. But welcome to Uneducated Sports Talk. Let me go ahead and get the chat up, rocking and rolling on my side. Because right now, YouTube's taking a little bit longer to rock the chat, so I got to see what's going on. I'm going to give a shout out those in the chat right now, showing love. So, let me see who's in the building right now. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. If it's your first time checking out Uneducated Sports Talk or Tuesdays with TJ, welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button for your chance to win $150 and, of course, a brand new game of your choosing. Well, how about that? Go out in just a moment, y'all. So, we got the live chat up and running now. I see it here. Let's go, man. We got Generic Ballman is in the building. GBM. Let's get it, man. He says, biggest take is Cleveland will cause problems with that defense. All right.
Yeah.
Generic Ballman says, what up, Carlos, TJ, and PJ? What is good, Generic
What's
Ballman?
up?
Peter said, what's good, GBM? We got Travis 303. Says, hey, Uneducated Sports Talk, congrats on your Jets pick being right despite losing Rodgers. I was shocked the Jets ended up winning that game. I hope you rubbed it in PJ's snout. No, according to PJ, she was going with the Jets the whole entire time.
Of course she
Yeah,
was.
she even in the stream saying Jets, 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 Jets. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah. Card craze. We got Canada's finest. What's up, love? How you doing? She says, may I say E, all of the above? Okay, could we have our poll question, you guys? So what was your biggest take of the NFL Week 1? And you guys go ahead and comment down. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got San Francisco 49ers. I forgot the other two. We have other. Obviously, if you have one, the other one was other. If you have a specific one, put it in the chat for your boy. I want to check it out, man. And says, may I say E, all of the above. Some defenses play lights out, midseason form. Browns, Niners, Rodgers injury is horrible, and 49ers looking midseason form. Yeah. And then oh yeah, the other one was the lack of offense. That what it was. The biggest take was the lack of offense, Rodgers injury, or you know. Oh damn, I forgot already what I was talking about. Anyways, it don't matter. Just hit it up. And
we'll
we
get
got
there.
yeah, we'll get there. Cause I had it on my screen in the left. Oh yeah, 49ers pure domination. Yes, there you go. So it's back on the screen now. Welcome back, y'all. Pat the Patriots says LOL Jets, man. What does that mean, brother? Travis says literally half the time. Look at you all's record 8-8, half right, half wrong. Well, he's 8-8. I'm 9-7. I'm batting above 500, baby, right now. Let's get it.
My goodness.
We also have Infinity in the building. Said, what's up, Lowe's and TJ? We got Goose Sports. Says, yo, what's up, Goose? If you guys have not, man, check out Goose Sports. That's my guy, man. He does live commentary and play. He's a Louisiana guy like myself. Shout out to my man, Goose Sports in the building, always showing love, man. Hey, y'all, so go ahead and subscribe to Goose Sports if you have not already. Show them some love and tell them that UST sent you. All right, y'all. That's enough freaking talking going on, man. Let's get to the really good stuff, y'all. So we're gonna talk about the actual Week 1 NFL season, TJ, and
Yeah,
it had its ups and its downs, and we'll break all
it
that down right now. But I think
definitely did.
the downs probably outweighed the ups, man. But we are such a positive channel. We
Yeah.
got to start with the good first, y'all. We have the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Let's go with the good first, y'all, because we gotta get some uplifting spirits around here, y'all. So we have the good. Let's start off with the San Francisco 49ers, man. Oh my goodness, that
Oh,
team.
my goodness.
We were both dead wrong on that pick, obviously. Um,
Yeah,
but it is what it is. We were dead wrong. But the Niners, out of all 32 teams, man, they were the one and only team, in my opinion, that looked all good.
yeah.
Talking
Um,
offense, defense, special teams. They beat down the Patriots. Do you remember the final score? I forgot the final score, but it was a beatdown. And my question,
it was a slaughter. Yeah,
it was a slaughterhouse. But my
yeah.
question is, are the San Francisco 49ers the early season Super Bowl favorites, man?
I think it is. It's they showed that they are overall such a good team. Like defense dominated, offense like everything was working. Apparently, like Brock Purdy has fully recovered from his injury, and I'm just looking up the scores right now. But it like either the Steelers are going to be that bad. It was 30-7. Like, yeah, precisely. If the Steelers are that bad or the Niners are that put together, but even if the Niners aren't as good as we think, because of who week one chaos, they are still going to be terrifying in the NFC this season. It might come down to, well, I reckon they are going to make it to the NFC Championship. Like if they keep up that momentum and keep that pace and stay healthy, yeah,
Yeah,
nothing's stopping
I
them.
already had them going to NFC Championship myself. But to see them go out there and everything looked good, everything was clicking. We knew that their defense, we forgot because preseason is so 3 weeks of preseason. We get training camp, so we just
Yeah,
forget how actually good their first team unit is on defense. They set the tone early, but man, their offense was our concerns. We had Brock Purdy off of injury. He looked like he never batted an eye.
I
It's
know.
funny how these surgeries over the last 15 years have made guys come back stronger and better now and more quicker. Um, you know, and then Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah,
George Kittle, every level now, the Niners have a main man on offense and defense, every level of the football field. We talk about the running back, Christian McCaffrey, the receiver, Brandon Ayuk, the tight end, Kittle. Obviously, the
yeah.
quarterback Purdy he did well in that game. They dominated, and in a week one that was so lackluster in offense, it was good to find out that
Mm-hmm.
they brought it all, not just the defense but the offense as well. And man, I mean, I'm with you though. It's early in the year, but I
Yeah,
gotta say it though. The 49, they look like they are ready to whip ass. They are ready to whip some ass and to go into Pittsburgh. That's what I'm more shocked about. They went in Pittsburgh and they dominated.
yeah,
That was my whole thing. If this game was in San Francisco, I would have said, "Oh yeah, 49ers win by a touchdown." But it was in Pittsburgh. That's why I wanted the
yeah,
Steelers to win this game. And the Steelers have a good team, a good coaching staff, and good players. Both
yeah.
sides, especially on defense. And the Niners didn't care. McCaffrey was
No,
getting 100 yards rushing. Ayuk 100 yards receiving. Purdy, the defense, Fred Warner, those guys, they look awesome, man. So yeah, they're definitely my early favorites after this week one, right?
yeah. It was complete. It was just how much the Steelers just didn't know what to do. It was sort of like, can't try this, can't do this. defense, and Brock Purdy just had a field day. And he's already, I think, solidified as the best Mr. Irrelevant of all time. Like,
He might just be,
you know,
man.
starting QB of the 49ers first year was in the NFC Championship. And he might go back there again. So with week one where a lot of offenses had a lot of rust, even when the teams dominated, there was still there was rust there, there was misthrows. A lot of the defense dominated this week, but that team, man, it was just, I felt sorry for the Steelers.
Hey,
I
you
felt sorry.
you gotta come with it, man. I didn't feel too sorry for him, man. You gotta come with it. Week one, you're at home. The crowd is in your favor, man. You got a buzz for Kenny Pickett. The 49ers said the hell with all that, y'all. We about to knock this buzz off ASAP, and they did, man. I mean, they were the first team to score. As a matter
Yep.
of fact, to start off the new year, that Sunday, the first team to score, and they did it first drive very quickly. Where
Mhm.
other teams were like, it took 4 or 5 possessions to get their first touchdowns. The Niners like, nope, we're scoring first on our first possession. So they look good, man. I am excited for this Niners gang, and I apologize for even picking the Steelers now. I feel like, man, you know what? We made the Niners mad, y'all, and that's not
Yeah.
good for the NFC.
No, it's not. Trust me, it is not good. And a bit of fear there. But like I said, it's week one. What was it? Last year, the Bears beat the ever living crap out of the Niners, and look what happened. The Bears,
Wow, I sure
yeah,
forgot about that. You're right.
yeah, the Bears won week one. Fair enough, it was in Chicago and it was a monsoon, but the Niners couldn't do nothing, and the Bears stomped them, and the Niners went to the NFC, and the Bears got the number one overall pick. So crazy things happen in week one. So who knows? But yeah,
Well, let's keep the good going on because we don't have much good to talk about. So, hey, we had our Thursday night football matchup, the defending champions Chiefs against the Detroit Lions. The Lions with a major upset. They win 21-20 over the Chiefs, y'all. And I this is our first time speaking about it since our last episode. But are the Lions an actual legit threat? TJ, how you feel about the Lions, man?
I think they are. Well, I know a lot of people say, well, this is just fuel for the Lions' motivation. They're saying, this game needs to have an asterisk because they were out of Chris Jones, who obviously got his money now. They were out of Travis Kelce. We were talking about how we weren't worried about Travis Kelce not being in, and then worked out, the Chiefs wide receivers can't catch a ball. So turns out he's very important. But I still think they walked into Arrowhead, a hard environment, and that we're here to fight, and they punched the Chiefs in the mouth. And they did it well, and I'm so happy. Yes, I didn't pick them because obviously, why would you bet against Pat Mahomes? But I am so happy to get that wrong. Like, good for the Lions. Go for it. It does look like they're going to have to contend with the Packers again this year. So I reckon, week one, we don't know, but it's going to be like the Packers-Lions thing to win the North. Because, the Vikings looked anemic against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, and the Vikings look like that. Oh, that's not good. So, and obviously, the Packers still own the Bears. But yeah, I'm so happy for the Lions, and go get them. Show that we are here to rule and stay.
Yeah, the Lions, I think, look, the conference itself is the baby conference of the NFL. The Lions, they look like a legit threat, especially in the NFC. I mean, there's only a select few teams. You have your favorites, obviously the Eagles, Niners,
Of course.
or Cowboys. They're there, and then you have the other. Will the Lions be a part of the other situations? Right? We'll find out. I think they have a great chance. They have a really easy schedule to start off the year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they could if they beat the Chiefs. I mean, all right, and I don't care about asterisks, right? You play who you play.
Yeah.
I don't, and mind you, this is the defending Super Bowl champions.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like the Vikings without Jefferson, right? No, this is the defending Super Bowl champions who still have Pat Mahomes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, the Lions went out there and they look like they're a legit team, and I love their mindset in that game. They ran the ball out 30 plus times, I think, and that is how winning teams win. You keep the
Yeah.
best player in the game on the sideline, and, that's the one thing about the NFL. Your best players can't play both sides, right?
Well,
So,
who
so,
knows
so
with this new college kid?
well, yes, you're right about that. Travis Hunter, shout out to Travis Hunter, man,
Yeah,
for doing his thing. But yeah, you're right about that. But still, for the most part, these guys aren't playing on both sides of the field. Pat Mahomes ain't playing defense, so you keep him on the
no,
sideline because you run that ball, and if the Chiefs can't stop it, you keep running. And shout out to the Lions for doing that, because a lot of teams kind of get out their own element and they say, well, we get bored of running the ball 30 some times, so let's pass it 5 times in a row, and you find yourself punting the ball. So yeah, the Lions stuck to their guns for the most part in that game, and I'm not shocked they won this game. Not at all. I'm not shocked. Uh, yes, like you said, had the Chiefs win this game, but it is what it is, though. Shout out to the Lions for that big dub.
yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, it's just we sort of watched the game, and it's, when it got, you realised, oh, this is going to be a game. Like Jared Goff looked really good. Well, he looked okay. He didn't look like Jared Goff when he won the Super Bowl, but he looked like the best Jared Goff we've seen since then. So it's
Right.
just like, if as long as he can just control the game, keep Pat Mahomes off the field. But like I said, Pat Mahomes was getting that ball to those wide receivers, and they just weren't catching nothing. Like
They
to the point
weren't.
where Darius Tony deleted his Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Well, he had to, man. They was on his ass. He had to. I don't blame him. We got some more in the chat, y'all. Thank y'all for the love. We got Glizzy in the chat, man, showing some love. What's up, Glizzy? Also got Truth Hurts. I got Shelby Minnick in the building. What's up, Shelby? Solar Flare showing love, and I got Ben Mott. What's good, my guy? He said the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. My take, what's up, Los? What up, Ben? Slow down, brother. Slow down. We got to slow down on that one. But, hey, my heart says hell yeah. We're going undefeated. Yo, but we got a lot to talk about, y'all. Any questions? We'll answer them at the end of the stream, y'all. But just keep that chat rocking and rolling, y'all. And keep showing love. We want to thank y'all for that, man. You guys are awesome, man. So keep asking those questions, and we'll answer them at the end of the stream. But let's rock and roll. All right. Our next topic. If it wasn't for this game, I don't know what we would do with ourselves for week 1, y'all. And I'm talking Dolphins versus
Oh
Chargers.
yes,
Epic shootout. Dolphins winning by a score of 36-34. They had more offense combined in this one game than the first 7-8 games that were out there on that slate, the 1 o'clock games.
yep.
Uh, boy, I mean, this game
Oof.
was back and forth, and I want to apologize not only to the 49ers, but also to the Dolphins. Yo, this team looks legit on offense for sure. Tua, I don't know if it was because he had time to rest after concussions, but he's got a lively arm. That arm,
Yeah.
he was slaying that thing, man, and over 400 yards passing. Matter of fact, I think it was 464. Might be a Dolphins record. I'm not quite sure. I mean, Dan Marino is
It's
the
up
man,
there.
so
No, I think it's behind Dan Marino.
okay. I imagine Dan Marino threw at least one game for 500, right? Maybe. Or
Yeah.
close to it. But still, nonetheless, though, Tyreek Hill over 200 yards receiving. And this team scary on offense, and of course the Chargers, also a good offensive squad as well.
Mhm.
But of course the Chargers chargered as always at the end. They just find ways to lose these kind of games all the time. Um, Thank God though for this game, TJ, man, because if it wasn't for this game, the entire NFL week 1 would have been just straight about defense and no
Yep.
offense for the
Yeah.
most part. How do you feel about this game, and what do you think this game means for the rest of the season for both teams?
Oh well, it's well. Hopefully they get to improve their defense, but that's what that means for both teams. But I remember you were sort of down on Tua, and it's sort of like this is how he started last year before the concussions. He started off so hot with the heavy hands. He was going to break all of the records, and then obviously his brain turned to jelly. And obviously he wasn't sacked, like he wasn't really hit, like he managed to obviously stay healthy. And so the Dolphins coming out and scoring the way they did isn't a massive surprise to me, because we sort of saw this beginning last year. And the Chargers was a bit of a shock, them actually keeping up with the Dolphins. I think that was the more shock, especially with Brandon Staley as the head coach. But it shows how bad Lombardi was for their offense. Like that, his play calling was absolutely terrible.
Right. Hold on,
Um,
keep the chat, keep it talking. Hold on, I'm gonna come right
keep
back.
going. I'll
Keep
keep
moving.
going. All right, PJ. So yeah, obviously, hopefully they get to improve their defenses a bit more because I know they're both high-powering offense, but they need to get that defense going. But yeah, it was just fun, absolute great, and I'm so happy I picked the Dolphins in this game because it was the one game that saved the Saturday because it was just a defense slaughterhouse. Yeah, right. Well, I've ran out of things to say about that game, so let's go to the chat. How are things in the chat right now? Hi, Infinity. I hope you're doing well. Game this week by Mike Williams. Sold my fantasy game. I don't know long. Yeah, fantasy crazy. Whoever got Tyreek Hill and Tua, they will be laughing their head off. They must have gotten all of the points, especially Tyreek. Tua and Tyreek Hill's points were absolutely horrific. Grizzy, least favorite team is the Dolphins. Why? Are you a Patriots fan? Do you just hate them in general? Because I've got my brother-in-law is a Patriots fan, and he can't stand them. TJ, have you got anything fancy to drink? No, I don't, Travis. Last Sunday, I poisoned myself very badly with a lot of alcohol, so I've gone off it. Gone off it for a week to recover. I was pretty bad Monday, but hey-oh. So nothing fancy tonight apart from good old water. That's what I've got. What about you? Anyone drinking anything fancy in the chat tonight? I know it is a Tuesday, and can't really go partying hard on a Tuesday. Well, not with that attitude. Oh, sorry, having a nice sip of water. We got busy. I'm a Chiefs fan. I've been to the Jets Dolphins game, and they were so obnoxious. I hate them. Fair enough. Which is very unusual. Did you go in the last couple of years? Because I know they've been a bit poverty until they got to hashtag Baru just finished my last coffee of the day. Oh, fair enough. Do you have it just straight? Is it Americano over there? Just straight black? Because I'm not really a coffee drinker, so I have no idea. You could get the most fanciest name, and it could be dirt to all I know. Stressful afternoon for me. School's football game got cancelled. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Daniel. Well, hopefully everyone's safe and they can get that all sorted. And yeah, as long as everyone's safe, and hopefully your son can show the skills off. Change. Really, Travis? Sorry, I read quietly. Sorry. Really, Travis? That's interesting. That's very interesting because I know that color combination is very hated over here. The teal and the orange, not particularly popular. Every time I sort of try and introduce people to the NFL, they really go off the Dolphins for the color alone. Like they like the Dolphins, but they just hate the uniforms of the color. The coffee is a flavored coffee with a bit of vanilla almond milk. Very nice. Well, if you like it, so I have no idea if that's nice or not. I don't drink coffee, but if you enjoy it, go ahead. Hello, everything sorted?
Yeah, we're good. So knocking on my door. That's all I'm gonna say. What's up? We're back, y'all. But we were talking about the Dolphins versus Chargers. Y'all sorry about that. I apologize. I have the best damn co-hosts in the building, PJ and TJ. They had my back, y'all. Appreciate
just
that.
Chatting with the chat, and I just mentioned how hopefully their offense is going to go crazy, and it's going to be hard to keep up with that offense. And whoever had Tua and Tyreek Hill in fantasy is most probably rolling in all of the points.
I know the guy that had Tyreek Hill in my fantasy, he won. I don't know about the guy. I think the guy that had Tua didn't start Tua.
What?
Yeah,
You must be kicking yourself.
yeah, I don't know who had him, man, but I know he didn't start him. But I know he started him tomorrow on Sunday. I know that for Sunday
Oh, I
football.
definitely would. Yeah.
Yeah, but he got the Patriots though at home. We'll find out. All right.
Ooh.
So, but my take on it is, yeah, I'm happy. First of all, both teams look lively on offense because they made up for the lack of offense throughout everybody else. So it was fun to watch that game and get down to the wire. It was cool to see too at the end though to have that the moxie to have that comeback
Yeah.
and go blow for blow because we're so used to seeing Herbert because Tua's been hurt a lot. So
Mhm.
we're so used to giving Herbert praise that it's nice to see that Tua's got it when he's healthy and he's right and he's rocking and rolling. And I think the Dolphins, if they continue that offensive slot, their defense is going to catch up, eventually because they have a nice defense. Chargers, man, screw the Chargers, man. They just, bro, this team is just,
Just
oh,
charging the
just
Chargers.
Chargers up. Yeah, they just charge all the time, y'all. So hey, thank y'all for that was our good. That was our good for today, and we got some stuff to talk about for the bad, you guys. Oh my God, man.
Ooh.
So let me take this off first. I want to start, and I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, you guys. I know this is where it's at right now. We're gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers, man. If you were sleeping under a rock last night, then you probably don't know about the situation with Aaron Rodgers and what he's going through. My man tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Completely tore it and popped, y'all. His fourth play of the day. Fourth play of the game, the first series. Tore his Achilles and he is out for the year. We just got news a couple of hours ago. He is out for the year. And I know all Jets fans are just disgusted. And I actually feel bad, not only for the players, first of all, the Jets players themselves, the organization, because
Yeah.
they made it their effort. They made it their effort to make Aaron Rodgers the focal point of this team. Everything they done this offseason was for Aaron Rodgers to lead his team. And this team, we spoke on it earlier in the last episode, this team was built for the Super Bowl. This team isn't, they're not trying to win a playoff game or whatever. They have a 2-year window that involved Aaron Rodgers, and that was going to the Super Bowl. And I mean, he played literally like in literal time. Was it like 4 minutes, five
If that.
minutes? And that was it. And I kept trying to watch the the replay of it, right? And I thought I
Mhm.
don't see it. And then finally I'm watching Sports Center after the game and they had a close up
Yeah.
on his on the calf area and the ankle area, and you could see it pop. You could see it rupture. It was so ugly. And for those who don't know, well, I was on the stream yesterday, and I was telling the guys, I was like, "Look, I'm not a Debbie Downer, but I promise you, when he got up and it fell right back down, that's an Achilles injury. That is a torn Achilles. And here's my thing: if you have a broke ankle, you wouldn't even have gotten up. His adrenaline is
Yeah.
running, so he gets up thinking he's fine, but he realizes, oh snap, I'm not fine. That's why he sat right back down. If you've seen NBA players from Kobe Bryant to Kevin Durant, all with the injuries, is almost like someone kicked you in the back of your ankle or in that area, and you turn around. Like all these basketball players who get that injury, they always turn around because they're assuming somebody kicked me. Well, Rodgers is playing football where you're always getting hit. So he just
Yeah.
assumed that someone just hit the back of my leg. It is what it is. So he got
Yeah.
up and he's like, "Oh, I can't get up," because the adrenaline kicked in. You guys. A quick story. I was working at Target and I had God dog it, this cart, a flat cart where you put furniture on. And I'm pushing it from behind me, just lollygagging it. And I take a bad step and I let the cart hit the back of my ankle. And I thought my Achilles had popped, right?
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. But obviously it didn't because you got to have movement with. You got to
Yeah.
have movement. Not just the cart hitting the back of your leg where it's kind of standstill. But I was hurting for like an hour, like limping, like extreme limping for an hour, right? It hurt that
Yeah.
bad. I can only imagine if it ruptured and tore. And that is what Aaron Rodgers went through like that. This is a huge deal for the New York Jets, TJ.
Yeah. It
Um,
is.
do they at least make the playoffs?
I think they do.
Mm.
Like even with like, okay, even with like great teams overcome over adverse struggles, don't they? Like they lost their starting quarterback, their savior, the the person the entire offense was built around. They brought in his safety blankets just to make him comfortable. Like this whole thing was for Aaron Rodgers, and he just goes down. And to be honest, I missed it. I just got in from work, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna like do some washing up, put the game on, and the Bills had just kicked their field goal. I was like, cool, time to see Rodgers, like
Oh
football.
no!
And then
You
it was like, we're gonna
surprise!
see, yeah, we're gonna sort of like turned away, and it was like, we're gonna see Wilson. I was like, what, Wilson?
Arr.
What? Yeah, it's like, what happened to Rodgers? And obviously, you dive straight onto Twitter and go, oh crap, like things are bad. So, but even with them losing Rodgers, yes, it wasn't ugly, and yes, it was ugly.
Whoa,
Sorry,
you got
and
them still
yes,
going. I'm gonna say no for the playoffs. Although I would love to see, which meant that Zach Wilson started balling out because now it's all on Zach Wilson again. So you get the GM, the owner, the GM, head coach Robert Saleh. They gotta go to Zach Wilson and say, "Hey, you have got to lead this team. It is
mm-hmm.
now or never for you, and probably for us as well." Because now, as Zach Wilson goes, your head coach or your GM, they'll go as well. So if Zach
Yeah,
Wilson bombs out the next year or two, then the GM and head coach might say bye bye to them as well. Uh, so they're saying we're gonna ride with you because now you really you can get a veteran presence. We're out hearing rumors of Tom Brady. I don't know. I think Tom is done for real though.
that's not happening because he's got to give up his ownership to the Raiders, and he's not going to do that.
Right. Oh, facts, facts, facts. So
Yeah,
yeah. So like, I don't see that happening. I think they go with the kid. You get a veteran to back up Zach Wilson, who's been a part of this program for 3 years now. Look, sad situation. I hate the fact for the organization. It's New York.
mm,
First of all, the Jets. They haven't won since the '60s, since 1968, I believe, with Joe Namath. I mean, this franchise cannot catch a break, man. They
no,
cannot, and I feel so bad for the players, for the fan base, and for NFL fans like myself. We were all glued to watching this game. Aaron Rodgers' debut with the New York Jets against a really good Buffalo Bills squad. I was ready
yeah,
for it. We were geeked up, and for it to be taken away like that in an instant, that's heartbreaking. And I know, look, if you are a fan of the New York Jets, and you cried at that moment, I don't blame you. I don't blame you
yeah,
because it's almost like it was ripped away. I know about no, almost crying, the miracle of Minneapolis, and then
oh
the no
yeah,
call for the Rams game in 2019. So I know about almost crying. I'll never cry, but boy, I had moments where I almost felt like I wanted to cry. So I get those moments. Cry, Jets fans, because man, your window just went out the window, in my opinion. Not only now, hey, big win though. It was a
yeah,
big
yeah. They
win.
still won. They
That could
still
that
won.
could mean something. They have a championship caliber defense. My only thing is the quarterback is Zach Wilson. If he can take another level up, then we can talk playoffs. But if he's gonna be the same old Zach Wilson over the last 2 years, they can forget about it.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't even need to take a full step. Just like a half step would help. They'll take. They'll
Right?
take. But
That
yeah,
takes something. Yeah, you're right.
they've got the defense for it. I know. Yeah, they were helped out by Josh Allen just falling
We'll talk about him.
apart.
We'll talk about him later on. We'll talk about him later on.
Yeah, but it really does suck for the Jets because they were putting everything, and I don't know who they're going to bring in, like Carson Wentz, Nick Foles,
Someone
like
like
Matt
that. You're right.
Ryan.
I guess.
Joe Flacco
Hey,
said he wants to play, and he's been with the organization for the last 4 years. But it's
nah,
Joe
not Flacco.
Flacco.
I can see a call to Carson Wentz though. I can see that call
Oh
coming.
no, no.
I can see it. I can see it. I would take Carson Wentz over Flacco all day, today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're talking apples and oranges though. Wentz and Flacco, like,
Yeah.
yo, come on, yeah, you know.
But yeah, it really does suck. But it shows like they have got a defense to win, and they've got like the backs to like. Hall looks really good. He had that massive run, didn't he? Even though he did get tired at the end, but it just suck. And is Rodgers going to return? He's 40. He's going to be 40 years old soon. It takes a year for a young man to recover from this injury. I imagine he will put all of his effort to return, but
I gotta see it to believe it, man. I mean, I think he wants to right his wrong, obviously, and that's why he'll come back. But right now, just the human instincts kicking in. I'm almost 40. You know, I'm gonna miss a whole year again, and do I really want to come back? You know, so
who knows? And the Jets are now in a situation where, like, okay, this is going to suck. They've got their first round pick this year because obviously they're not going to. Rodgers isn't going to get the threshold for the second round pick to turn into a first round pick.
Right.
But they can't trade that first overall pick until the season's done because it's technically still locked up in the Packers deal. Like, they can't trade it because it's, even though everyone knows it's not going to happen, it still technically could happen, so they can't do it. So do they either go, okay, let's just suck with Wilson. Let's just see what Wilson can do. Use the first round pick for, well, it's got to be O-line, personally, but I can see them if they go QB. I wouldn't be surprised if they are in the top 10 next year or even top 5. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a QB. But
but you got to get there. That defense probably won't let them get there.
That's what I mean. They're going to they're not going to lose enough to get that pick.
I mean, right now I can see a 7-10.
Yeah.
7-10 kind of season now.
Well, technically they're tied first in the division.
Right. And let's be honest, last year they went 7-4, right, to start the year off, and it just came crashing down the last half of the year. But still, they started off hot, you know.
Yeah, they lost 4 when it all went to crap.
Yeah.
But obviously they've got Hackett now, who's a better OC. I feel like they've got better weapons. Like, last year they had Wilson, who was the defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year. But there was drop off since then. Like, I trust Lazard more than not even DJ Moore. It was Mims. Mims was last year.
Mims. I think they still have Barrios, but he's on the bench though. He's not getting a lot of playing time. So no, you're right.
And obviously they've got Cook to rely on as well. Right. So they are. Like,
it's going to come down to Zach Wilson. That's it. It's going to come down to the quarterback.
It's going to be very interesting because you've got the 49ers, which, like, they've locked into Brock Purdy, but before then, the team elevated the QB. Can the Jets now try and do that with their team?
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I know I'm rooting for the Jets to have success this year. I just want them to be relevant. It was such a cool game yesterday. I mean, it was almost like a soap opera yesterday, and that's why we love sports. We love sports so much because it's like a soap opera, and that game right there was a soap opera, and it had the heartbreaking start, but the lifetime Hallmark movie ending, pretty much. Thank you. This is Bears is on Miami. Okay, I apologize. The Bears is gone too. Then so they really revamped their receiving core. But it was all for Rodgers. You got Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, come from Green Bay. And it's almost like, man, damn it. Do you know how hot rent is out here in New York compared to Green Bay?
Oh,
The
yeah.
rent or whatever they're paying, mortgage is high out there in New York, man. But I mean, hey, it happens though, man. It sucks though. But our thoughts and prayers go to Aaron Rodgers, man. Hey, if you do come back, A-Rod, we are there for you, brother, and I hope you come back bigger, better, and stronger for next year, man. If not, it was a privilege to know you and to watch you play football for sure.
Yeah,
So either way, I'm down for it, man. But let's keep the bad going on, and
we
let's
have
go.
to.
Yeah, we have to. And let's go in the AFC North, you guys. The AFC North. And boy, did all four teams struggle on offense. But I want to talk about the Ravens and the Bengals, man. One
Oh,
team got a win, one team got a loss, but both teams look horrible doing it. Let's go with the
yeah.
Ravens first, since we're such a high-spirited program. Let's go with the team that won. The Ravens beat the Texans, I believe, was it 24-3. Uh,
Yes.
but that does not answer how this game was. First of all, if you had Lamar Jackson in fantasy, you probably lost. Uh,
Yes, I did.
he said, "Yes, I did." Not you, TJ. You had him in fantasy, man.
Well, let me say, I didn't lose. Thank God to the Jets defense.
Okay, got you.
They
Got you.
saved me. But if the Jets didn't pick off Josh Allen 4 times and get a forced fumble, I would have lost because he did nothing.
Thank you, Travis. Says 25-9. Thank you. So Ravens beat the
Yeah.
Texans 25-9, but it was ugly. It was ugly. This whole entire off season, we had so much focus on this Ravens new offense. Odell Beckham comes in. Mind you, in this game there was no Mark Andrews, but still, you had Odell Beckham. We knew about Rashad Bateman from last year. You bring in Zay Flowers, who was the only bright spot of that
Yeah.
offense. The running game was not effective, and the new offensive coordinator, I wonder why he tried his hardest to make Lamar Jackson a straight up passer. Sometimes you gotta tell Lamar, brother, hey, use your legs, man. We need you for them legs too now. I mean, you have a point to prove. I get that, but when I
Yeah.
say count your lucky stars, Ravens, you were playing the Texans. Because if this was any other legit team, that game would have been a whole lot closer, and the Ravens might have lost that game. So far, I don't see it with the new offense, man. Lamar Jackson looked like a shell of himself, and he was just god awful. Interceptions, fumbles. It was just bad. Odin Beck only had a handful of catches for not a lot of yards, but I mean, it's his first game back in a long time. I get that part. Give him time, but against the Texans, that was, you know how in college, like the big programs, the first week of the season, they get this like Poochie's team and beat them
Yeah.
up just to get the kinks out. And it felt like that's what the Ravens did. Hey, NFL, can we get the Texans first so we can try, at home too? We want to be at home and play the Texans so that we can get our kinks out. And they failed miserably, in my opinion. That looked
Oh,
bad.
it was
Um,
bad.
and so, how you feel about Lamar Jackson? And is there any cause for concern right now for the
Well,
Ravens?
it kind of is because they also had a horrific injury. Like their running back who's been
Mm.
injured and he's finally started healthy and then he's out for years for another
J.K.
torn
J.K.
Achilles.
Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins, that's it. Yeah, he's unfortunately gone as well. I know obviously Mars said he wanted to prove that he can be that pocket passer, but if you're in the situations like you were in, you've got to run. Like you might as well use what you know you're good at, and the score really doesn't show how close that game was. Like that
Right.
Houston sort of showed that we aren't gonna entirely suck this year. Again, it could be week one, but Houston looked more capable than what I thought they would. Um,
Their
but
defense
yeah,
looked good. Look,
the defense, yeah,
D'Amico Ryans is the former 49ers defensive coordinator, and he is all about defense, and that's his calling card. So maybe the Texas defense is a little bit better than we thought, but still, it's still the Ravens though. So you
yeah.
know,
I know, I get
yeah,
you, I get you. It was just sort of like obviously all the hype about Odell and everything like that, and he only had a couple catches. It just didn't look good. It was, which is a
Yeah,
bit concerning. Who's currently winning? So yeah, the Browns are currently ahead of the North, and
yeah,
yeah, you called
yeah.
it
The
so
Browns.
far.
So I mean, this is one game. I mean, the Raiders are on top of the
Yeah.
AFC West right now. So I mean, we're not gonna we're not gonna go too
That is
far.
true. That is true.
It's just literally just one game right now. But yeah, I'm not a fan of. Look, my thing is, if you want to shut the critics up, you just win. You just win, baby,
Yeah.
win. That's like is win. I don't care how you do it. Lamar Jackson, he- he's so focused on I'm gonna throw for 4,000 yards and I want to throw 30 touchdowns. And he's come out there and said that like I want to do those kind of things. I want to show
Yeah.
y'all I'm a legit quarterback, and I get that. But brother, all you gotta do is win. Tom Brady isn't the most prolific quarterback as far as like his gifts, right? His stature, the arm strength, and the ability to run. No, he just won. He
Yeah.
just won. He won when he was young, and he won when he got older as well. And that's why folks have him as the GOAT, you know,
Yeah.
because he just won a lot. I think Peyton Manning's a better quarterback, like the quarterback position, the individual position itself, Dan Marino. But Brady is there because he just won. If Lamar
Yes.
Jackson just focus on winning, Lamar, the OC, the team,
Hmm.
if you win the ball game, no one's gonna care how you got it. You're winning.
No.
That's it. So to go out there and to try and put yourself in a bad situation, because I mean it was ugly. Like the score does, like you said, the score does not tell you the actual fatality of that offense. It was anemic. It was bad. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of three and outs, um, and a lot of punts. Now there was no Mark Andrews, and he may make a difference. Well, he will be a difference, obviously, when he comes back. Uh, but I hope that they realize, you know what, the season starts this week against the. They had the Bengals, who's fresh off a loss. Let's talk about them. Speaking of Bengals, they get beat
Oh.
down 24-3 by the Cleveland Browns, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You
Joe
called it.
Burrow,
You called it.
hey, 82 total passing yards. I cannot make this up, man. They looked lethargic. They looked inept. They won the Super Bowl and had a hangover. Right? It looks like
It
it
was
looked like
bad.
that. Now there's a graphic that Burrow does not do well against Cleveland, and I understand that. But you got to still put up something. This team, like, we can turn it on anytime we want. It doesn't work like that, man.
Mhm.
Are you concerned for the Bengals right now?
Um, yeah, kind of, because it was, yes, the Browns defense showed off. The Browns defense won that game, and Watson did look better than what he has been, but he still wasn't back to full form.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just the Bengals, they just couldn't get it going, and especially since this is going to be the last year this team, really sort of the last year this team's going to be together, because Tyler Boyd's not going to be back next year. They've just paid Burrow, which we haven't spoke about. Burrow got his money, got a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. But so they're going to struggle to pay Jamar Chase. But just to get that large amount of money and then to put that on the field to the point where they took him out in the game. I understand if you're that far behind, you don't want to risk your franchise quarterback, but it was just awful.
It
It was
was.
ugly.
It
It
was.
was just a thing. I'm sorry if that's the only game people could watch. Obviously, I don't know how the US normally watch it. I had Red Zone on, thank goodness. Otherwise,
Yeah, you can go to every other channel. Yeah, you can go to other sport. I mean, other games going on.
yeah, because
Yeah, it was bad.
it was horrific.
I mean, but you also had the Steelers too. Let's not forget about the Steelers. They look bad. And the
Yeah,
Browns, the Browns won 24-3, but their offense was not kicking at all either. Deshaun Watson, I think I was almost below 50% passing for the game.
I couldn't.
And the AFC North just looked horrendous on offense, man. Now, thank
Yeah.
God two of those teams got dubs, but Steelers were bad, only scored 7 points.
Mhm.
And then we had the Browns, Bengals only scored three. Ravens looked horrible, and the Browns, they're not that good on offense either right now, but something had to give in that game. I get it. So I don't know. They better come. They better come
Yeah.
with it. They better come with it, y'all, because the AFC is not gonna wait for anybody else. You got to get it while it's there.
No.
And the
Yeah.
Bengals,
No.
which is my Super Bowl pick, my Super Bowl favorite. They better turn it on. I mean, it might be big money hangover, maybe not Super Bowl hangover, but big money hangover. Who knows? I'm gonna just throw that out there in the air. I hope not though. I hope not for
I was
Burrow's
gonna
sake.
say. I think was it every player like QB that got paid this off season did not play well.
They're not. You're
Lamar
right.
didn't play the best. Then Barrow didn't play the best. Hurts didn't play his best.
And it was sad. The only one that played decent,
It
Derek
was
Carr.
Herbert and he lost. Oh, and yeah,
But I like Herbert played. Herbert was awesome. We know about that.
yeah.
But outside of Herbert, we're talking about the rest of those guys. Yeah, Derek Carr was the only one that played decent, and he didn't have a great game either. Uh, but he had over 300 yards passing. So that makes
Yeah.
people feel better.
Yeah, he. I apologies. I picked against the Saints.
It's all good, man.
I didn't anticipate how dreadful Tannehill looked.
Hey, not
He
one, not
definitely
two,
ain't finishing the season. Definitely ain't finishing the season.
For real. Hey, it's gonna look bad out there for Tannehill, man.
Yeah.
He's already on the chopping block for Titans fans right now. We got Christian Arujo in the building. What's up, Christian? Good to see you, love. All right, so that is it for our bad, you guys. We talk about Aaron Rodgers' injury, man, and of course the Ravens and Bengals, the whole entire AFC North struggle. If you want to hear our good, we broke down 49ers beat down over the Steelers. We talk about the Lions beating the Chiefs, and we talk about the Dolphins-Chargers game, which is very offensive worthy because we needed it, man. We needed it for this week. Now we gotta go with the ugly though, and I think everyone knows what the ugly is, man. It got downright ugly. It was so bad how the Cowboys beat down the Giants. They said not only do we pay homage to 9/11, but we probably gotta pay homage to 9/10 now. Because that was the date where the Cowboys won 40-0 over the New York Giants in MetLife Stadium. It was ugly. The Giants barely got 170 yards total offense, y'all. Not even BSing. 170 yards. I think it was 182 total offense, right? But they put a big donut. I mean, me and TJ and PJ scored about the same amount of points the Giants did on Sunday. I mean, which is 0. We ain't scored nothing. They ain't scored nothing. My question for you, TJ, are the Cowboys that good because that defense was humming, or are the Giants just that bad?
I want to refer back to one of the first ever Tuesdays with TJs. I think my first ever hot take was the Giants were only going to win 3 games. And
so far, you're looking good.
So far, so good. Obviously we knew the Cowboys defense was going to be good, and they just feasted. Like the Giants' O line was absolutely terrible.
Yes.
I don't think there was a single snap where it just didn't fall to pieces. Like there was someone in Daniel Jones's face. The offense was the positions they were getting, like of the Cowboys' offense. I don't think they played well, but not like astonishing. But they did play well, and they just took advantage of the great situations they're in. And I just think it shows how shockingly bad the Giants' offense is. I think the offense really, and the defense didn't help the Giants' defense, but the offense of the Giants was their wide receivers, it was just awful. And you can't expect their defense to dig themselves out of a hole when their offense is so anemic that.
Right.
Even their special teams, like the one time they could potentially even get points, it was blocked and then returned for the other points.
Well, it was crazy because that was the first drive of the game, and they looked good that first drive. They run with Saquon. I mean, everything was going well. They had it 1st and goal from the 8-yard line or something like that. and then they get the penalty, they get the little bad snap from the center, which
Yeah,
cost them about 15 yards extra, and then they kick the field goal to go 3-0. You're like, okay, it's gonna be a decent game. The Giants on
yeah,
top 3-0. It changes the momentum, but nope, momentum changed in the Cowboys' favor. Block punt, took it to his house for a tutty, and
yeah,
that was all she wrote.
yeah,
And I remember Travis on the chat a while ago. He said, "Don't forget about the Cowboys as that team." The Cowboys' offense still struggled though at times in that game.
yeah.
Now
It wasn't
they
the
didn't
best.
have the ball as much or had to do a lot of work because of the score was already but when they had that football for a few times, they did struggle a little bit. So,
Hmm.
mind you, the defense and the special team scored two of those touchdowns
Yeah,
for them. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm going the other way, TJ. I think the Cowboys are that good, though. I
really.
think Dallas, their defense, this might be an all-time special defense as far as Micah Parsons and Lawrence in your D line. Parsons with a sack, he was causing havoc on every
Yeah,
down he was
yeah.
in. And I don't know if did you see that where he was double teamed and he still found a way to move and get a sack.
Oh,
It was
I did not see
nasty.
that.
Yeah, I mean, he was like legit double teamed, and he kind of bullied his way out of that double team and still got a sack. It was crazy. Then you have Van Der Esch, the linebacking core. That might be the weak
Yeah,
link for the
he's a
Cowboys. But then the secondary with Diggs and Gilmore. We're talking about two
yes.
guys who and Gilmore had an interception in that game already. So
Hmm.
they have it on just about every level, especially D line and the secondary. This team legit is gonna be scary. I'll tell you what, they're going to dominate the bad teams
Easy.
easily. I can see them dominating the bad offensive teams and being okay against really good offenses. Um, and right now, the way the NFL is starting off is not that many good offenses so far. So right
No,
now,
that's true. That's true.
Cowboys might have an early season advantage right now. They got the Jets next week, so we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I think the Cowboys are that good on defense for sure. Their offense gonna need a little more work because when they start facing a legit team, they're gonna need Dak to step up. And
Yeah.
Dak almost threw a few picks himself. They were dropped, but he almost had some costly plays as well. But he did some good things also.
Yeah, he did good things. And Micah Parson, like you saw the money Bosa got. He is going to get the bag, and
Amen.
it's going to be a miracle if Jones can, the Cowboys can play all their players, especially in the salary cap situation. But
You got to keep Parsons regardless, though.
you got to,
Parsons is
yeah,
number one.
he's your franchise right now.
Yeah, you got to keep him.
But it is going to be a very interesting because the weakest part is their offense. Their defense is solid and it's going to be really good. So next week is going to be very interesting because obviously the Jets have a very good defense.
Hmm.
So this is going to be their test, depending on how their offense looks against the Jets next week. I think will give us the picture of what the Dallas Cowboys are going to be, because I imagine their defense is going to feast on the Jets next week. But
Oh yeah, I got
yeah,
to. Zach he better bring his lunch.
yeah,
Bring your lunch.
precisely.
It's gonna be a long night, man. A long day. Woo.
um, but yeah, depending on how their offense looks against that defense, sort of will be okay. Now we know how they're going to go. They're going to get to the first round of the playoffs and put Zeke at center somehow and lose. But yeah, it's going to be good.
It's gonna be good, man. We have a new segment, y'all. We have this every week now for the regular season and the playoffs, and it's called "What the Fudge Cake." Well, we'll break down one thing that irritated us. It could be a player, it could be a team, it could be whatever that involves the NFL. But we had that for week one. It is what the fudge cake. TJ, give me your what the fudge cake moment.
I'm going to go with Burrow.
Ooh, okay.
He's the most. I had, like, obviously I picked the Bengals over the Browns. I They went to the AFC Championship. I walked in, I was like, "Come on, Burrow, you just got your money. Let's just show what you can get." And he came out and he looked like he shouldn't be in the NFL. He looked that bad, and I'm just like, "What the fudge cake? Like, come on!" You've got Jamar Chase. You've got T. Higgins. You've got. What are you doing? You know how to run this offense. This offense is yours. How could you just look terrible and then just to be like, yeah, I'm done. Like,
I'm done. Give me out,
whatever.
coach. Give me out, coach.
Get me out. Yeah, we've lost this game. Yeah, congratulations. Just come on, I'm done. And it's just like, oh, that was the most like, this is not going to be a good weekend.
Yeah, I gotcha. I agree with you on the position. I'm going a different team though. I'm going my what the fudge cake moment. Josh Allen. Bro,
Yo,
what
yeah,
the
strong one, strong
fudge
one.
cake was that last night? I know I might be prisoner of the moment, but regardless, I mean, this is Josh Allen in a big game and in a game where your nemesis, Aaron Rodgers, went out. This
Yeah,
game was for the taking. You're up 13-3. Yes, it's a good defense, but all you got to do is just be manageable of the
mhm,
football, and you're going to win this game because that offense wasn't doing nothing for about 47 minutes. They did nothing of that football game.
absolutely.
Josh Allen, not one, not two, but three interceptions to the same guy. Shout out to Whitehead, by the way, for those three interceptions. But
Yeah,
still, Josh Allen, you are the lone reason why your team lost. And he did man up and say, I caused my team to lose. So I respect that. He took ownership. But, bro, those passes he didn't need to.
no, no,
Like you're throwing 2-on-1 to Hardy. Hardy is
yeah,
freaking 5'6" against two guys down. He's fast AF now. He is. But still, when you're throwing the football, he's throwing it like against two guys. Like you don't have to make that pass. Where are your check downs? Where's your intermediate routes? Stuff like that. It drove me crazy how good he is. But man, 84 turnovers now. In his career, he's a turnover machine. And this game might bring out the worst in the national media because they've kind of given Allen that pass
yeah,
over the last couple of years where they're giving Dak Prescott hell
yeah. No,
for his
I get you.
and Allen has the same kind of issues as Prescott. The national media just doesn't talk about it now. Mind you, it's probably because the Bills sort of are that new darling team in the office, but still, they haven't gone to a Super Bowl yet under
No.
Josh Allen. So I mean, they're kind of in the same area as the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. So that's my what the first cake moment, man. The game was there for you to win. You
Yeah,
just
no,
you
I
just had to
agree.
not turn the ball over.
Yeah,
Just not turn the ball over, and you're good. And he threw three costly interceptions and a big fumble at the end, game tied
yeah,
at 13. He fumbles a snap and then gets hit and fumbles. It's like, bro,
yeah.
what are we doing there, man? Do we want to win? So that is my what the first came up. You got Joe Burrow, I've got Josh Allen, man. So
Yeah, I completely understand that one. He, ever since Dable left the Bills and went to the Giants, it's really like amplified the weaknesses in Josh Allen. And I saw a media member on Twitter, of course, everything's on Twitter or X nowadays, um, say he can see Josh Allen has the same flaws and looks like Carson Wentz would look if he did get injured.
mm,
Like that hero ball, like I need to force it there, I need to go here, and just makes the costly mistakes. And sometimes those decisions will make you win a game, but sometimes those decisions will also lose you a game.
right, facts,
And
facts.
that's what it was.
All right, y'all. We have our week 2 picks now coming up, you guys. Week 2 picks. Are you ready, TJ?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's go, man. Oh, I know you're ready for the first one, obviously. I know you're ready for
Ooh,
the first one.
yes.
All right. Week 2 picks are underway, you guys. Our first game, we have a Monday night football special. I'm sorry, Thursday night football
I was going
special.
to say Monday night.
Not
Wow.
Monday. Thursday. I was just thinking about Monday night because of the damn Bills game, Bills and Jets. Thursday night football, y'all. Was in 2 days. We have the Vikings at the Eagles. I let you go first, my brother.
I'm obviously choosing my good old birds to win this. Like, yes, we looked I've never seen a community win a game and walk away as if we've lost the game. And that was the Eagles fans after the Patriots. Like, thank goodness our defense. is going to be good because they won us that game. Our offense looked anemic and rusty, but we're against Kirk Cousins in prime time, so that should immediately be a dub. I know I've just cursed
I
it.
say,
I hurt myself.
thank God for Butte, the receiver for the Patriots, thinking he's still in college.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It's 2
That is
feet in
true.
the NFL, not 1 foot, my guy.
That
Good
is
God
true.
Almighty.
And we're going against a team that just got embarrassed by the Buccaneers.
Hmm.
And so I trust our offense. I trust my defense to keep the Vikings in hand. Unfortunately, we do have some injuries. Our second cornerback, James Bradbury, is in
Hmm.
concussion protocol. Being a short week, I don't think he's going to play, which sucks. That means they're just going to pair
Darius Slay,
Darius Slay against
Jefferson, you gotta get it.
Jefferson. And last year, I'm
And
not going to
last
lie,
year, he dominated Jefferson last year.
dominated three interceptions Slay got, and hopefully that goes ahead. But Dean, unfortunately, is on IR, placed on IR today with a foot injury. So we've elevated Nicholas Morrow from the practice squad. But I feel like my D line, which was the major bright spot
Yes.
in the game, like Jalen Carter.
His first ever play, he just manhandled some man.
Yeah, he's already got a sack. He's already got pressures. It's just like, thank you, NFL, for letting him fall to me.
I know.
I know he's got the problems, but I think like he's landing in the right spot. But yeah, I just don't feel like the Vikings can, especially the defeat they experienced. They didn't seem like the Vikings of old or last year, and I feel like we can at least hold off.
I didn't like the Vikings last year.
Oh, fair.
They 13-4 my ass. No, that was the worst 13-4 I've ever seen in my life, man. I mean, it's better be lucky than good sometimes. They got lucky a lot last year.
And hopefully this week, our new offensive coordinator will work closely with Jalen and be like, okay, Jalen, let's get you in a rhythm. Let's get you back to hopefully doing what he does, because Jalen did not look good. And,
you're right.
We've got they said we're going to use a committee of running backs, and yet we only used one for the majority of the game. And like, that's not a committee. It's just like,
who was it?
It was Gainwell.
Gainwell, right? I saw Gainwell a lot on the red zone. Okay.
It was Gainwell, and Penny wasn't even dressed.
Wow.
Like, he signed Penny, and
Swift only had like 5 yards total.
He had 2 touches. That's just not right.
All right, well.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's just the offense was just off. Like, why did you trade picks for Swift and not use him?
You're not using
Why did you get Penny and just not even dress him? It's just like,
we got the beautiful Markai in the building. She said, "Hey, man, what's up, Markai? Always good to see you."
Yeah, but that's it. I'm done. I can talk about forever.
I'll let you have the floor because it's your Eagles. I got you, man.
Yeah.
I'm also going with the Eagles as well. One, they're at home. Just their first home game of the year. It's going to be crazy. And Kirk Cousins just sucks balls in prime time. That's why he's on my bench this week, as I will start Jordan Love against Atlanta in my fantasy. But yes, I do not like the Vikings and their offense, how they played against the Buccaneers. Mind you, Bucs have a good defense, but guess what? The Eagles have a better defense than the Buccaneers, in my opinion. And I think they're going to shut down Kirk Cousins gang. It's going to be a tough matchup. There is no physicality for Minnesota. Like,
really?
They're not physical at all. At all. I just don't see it from their team. A certain type of physicality wins that game against the Buccaneers. It's and they don't have it. And they've damn sure bringing it into Philadelphia. First game of the year, defending NFC champions. I mean, yeah, that crowd's gonna be rocking and rolling on Thursday night, and I'm here for that beatdown. So I think the Eagles win that one pretty easily, in my opinion. So we both got the Eagles in that game. All right, our next game on the docket, the first game of Sunday, is going to be out of the AFC North. We're going to have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Who we got in that game, man? Ravens versus Bengals.
I went first last time. It's your turn.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm definitely going with the Bengals in this one. I think Bengals have a major bounce back game this week. I mean, don't let that game fool you. Burrow always, for the most part, he's 1-5 against the Browns. If you guys didn't know that, Burrow's
Wow.
1-5 against the Browns. But for some reason, he loves playing the Ravens and the Steelers. But against the Browns, he just doesn't have an answer for them. But I think first game at home, bounce back game. The Ravens still kind of depleted on offense, and it's going to take a while for them to get going. I'm going with the Bengals to win this one. I think, matter of fact, Burrow 300 yards passing. Um, and I'll go with them winning this game by, I'm gonna say like by 10 points. I think
Yeah.
they'll really put a number on Baltimore in this game.
Fair, fair. And yeah, I agree. I'm also going with the Bengals. It burnt me last week, but um, they should bounce back. If they don't bounce back, then something
Oh
you
yes,
better start worrying.
cause of concern. If the whoever loses this game, honestly, and
Yeah,
although the Ravens are 1-0, but whoever loses this game, there is going to be a cause of concern unless the Ravens lost in a shootout of sorts.
yeah. It's going to be if I was the Ravens and Lamar's still insisting to throw, and they are starting to fall behind. You've got to be the coach to go, Lamar. You got to start running. You've got to just be like, yes, I know you want to prove that you are a thrower, but if that loses us games, you got to just run it.
Yes.
Um, and obviously, they've lost their number one running back. And honestly, if Odell doesn't do anything this game, it might be time to admit he's gone, which is a shame.
Yeah, because you only have 17 games to play with. You can't have him be rusty for the first 5 or 6 games and call it on rust. Like, no, we need you now. We paid you to be
Yeah,
a right now receiver, and he's moving like he's good. It's just my concern is Lamar Jackson. Can
fair.
Lamar actually? Because when was the last time Lamar had a top receiver? Never, right? And
Yeah,
honestly, I
yeah.
don't, I don't think he throws very well seam routes. Mark Andrews, the tight end, he throws that kind of route very well. But throwing as a professional quarterback, throwing to a receiver, running routes, and a big time receiver, we haven't really seen that from
Mm.
Lamar Jackson ever. So I'm concerned about him, his ability to throw it in position for receivers to catch. We'll find out about that. So we
Yeah,
both have the Bengals in that game. All right. So
yeah,
far we are 2-0. I like
yeah,
that, man.
indeed.
Yep.
2-0. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
let's hope so, right? Our next game on the docket should be a very interesting one. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. You can go with that one
Ooh.
first, my brother.
I'm going to go with Detroit. Simply because we didn't really speak about it, but Seattle really did not look good against the Rams, and everyone thought the Rams was going to be a bottom team this year, and they were manhandled. So I'm going with the Lions, who will be. They're going to come. They're at home. They're going to be on a high from beating the Chiefs. They're going to have the motivation of the asterisks. They're going to still go out to prove that they are the Lions. And I feel like they are going to punch the Seahawks in the face.
Ooh, punch me in the face.
Yeah,
I got you. I agree. I'm going Detroit. I think this, in my opinion, is a bigger must-win game from week one. Because if you win this game, you are literally proving to the NFL world now we are here for real.
yep,
Like
yep.
we aren't satisfied by beating the Chiefs. We want to come in and beat everybody. I think this is a very winnable game for Detroit. I think it'll be a very close game. I might think even a high-scoring game. I think
Fair.
this game is going to be somewhere both teams in the high 20s, but I think Detroit is going to win this game. They're just better when it comes down to their execution. We saw that in week one. I think they bring that same one and having the home crowd behind their backs now. I like this Lions team beating Seattle. And if Seattle does lose, that's 0-2. That's tough to start off
Ooh,
0-2. And beside the Niners, you're the darlings of the NFC West. I think the Niners are going to just control that division
yeah,
for a
yeah,
while.
pretty
But
much.
still, Seattle made the playoffs last year, and they're on a high. But that was a bummer of a loss in week one. And here's my concern. It was a close game at
Yeah,
first. And then they let their guards down. The Rams just kept eating that in that third and fourth quarter. And that's a sign of concern right there for me, where you kind of fell flat at the end. So I'm going
yeah, they
Detroit.
burnt out.
I'm going Detroit, just like you, man. But look, I can see both teams win this game, but as of right now, I'm going to say Lions win this game at home.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes
All right,
sense.
next game coming from the AFC South, the bottom feeders, you guys. We're gonna have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. My guy, I'll go first. I'm going with the Texans to win
Oh,
this game.
interesting.
Yes, hey, I will have my eyes glued on this game because it is going to feature Richardson versus Stroud, and I do think these guys will be playing uh, against each other for the next 10 years, hopefully, right? And
Yeah.
who gets the first laugh, right? The first laugh. And I'm going with the Texans. That defense is going to be over Richardson. I like D'Amico Ryans, what he's bringing to this Texan squad with that edge on defense. We saw them put a number on the Ravens. I think at home, that home crowd, I think the Texans will go ahead and pull off a dub against the Colts. How about you?
I'm going with the Colts. First time we differ. I think the Colts, even though they lost, they managed to keep up with Jacksonville. And uh, I just feel like they will be Frank Wright would be just a bit better of a hand in the situation. And I was actually pleasantly surprised how well the team sort of just uh, meld together and
Yeah,
just worked as a unit. So I'm going with the Colts simply for what I saw them against the
the Jaguar.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, and don't let that score fool you. That game was very close
It's
towards the
close.
end. The
Yeah,
Jaguar just
very
scored
close.
those points at the end of the fourth quarter, so don't let that score fool you. It was a very close game throughout.
It's going to be a very interesting and good game. And wouldn't surprise me if early in the careers Anthony Richardson will be like the better QB, we'll see, and then CJ Stroud will just obviously develop later on. But yeah, I'm going with the Colts over Houston, although it is going to be a very interesting game to keep an eye on.
And I do agree with you. This year, I do have. If there's going to be a quarterback to win MVP, I mean, Rookie of the Year, it's going to.
MVP.
Yeah, not MVP. If there's going to be a rookie quarterback winning Rookie of the Year, it's going to be Richardson. I think he's going to have that. I can see a lot of rushing touchdowns, a lot of spectacular plays from him. He'll get the
Yeah,
oohs and ahs to be Rookie of the Year. Now, do I see? Like I said, I don't see a quarterback winning it at all. But if there was one, it'd be Richardson. All right,
yeah.
let's go with the NFC now, and we have a game: Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh.
You can go with that one first, my brother. Who you got, man?
I'm going to go with Tampa. I am going to go with that simply because I know the Packers own the Bears, and I know it was just not a good showing by the Bears at all. But the Buccaneers really surprised me, and it's at home for the Buccaneers. And I feel like their win, especially since it was against the Vikings, has sort of energized the team. And where the Bears, after chatting all off season and constantly got a bit disencouraged. The air was let out of the team. So I honestly feel like the Buccaneers are going to take advantage of a currently weakened Bears squad and get a W at home.
I completely agree. I'm going with the
Yeah.
Buccaneers as well. I think if they make Kirk Cousins look bad, can you imagine what they make Justin Fields? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
and one thing we haven't. Let's give the Buccaneers credit. They still have a great defense, right?
Yep.
Tom Brady's gone, we understand that, but their defense is still there. Now they're at home against Fields, who's a turnover machine, and we thought, like you said, all the hype around Chicago, and Fields wants to throw for
Mm-hmm.
4,000 yards. I'm gonna be the first Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in the history. It ain't looking, it's not a good start right now. Not a good
It's
start.
not.
Not one at all. He barely threw 20 yards passing in Week 1 at home against the Packers, and now you face a Buccaneers defense on the road. Yeah, good luck, Fields. I don't like that matchup at all. Yeah, I'm going with the Buccaneers to win this one easily. Easily. I think Fields throws 2 interceptions easily in this game.
Yeah,
Easily. I
very
see
easily.
easily, man. Easily. More. They better start throwing screens to DJ Moore or something, man. Good God Almighty. That man had 2 targets the whole game. Not. I mean, he had 25 yards, but only 2 targets, man.
Wow, 2 targets. Oh, that's horrific. You can't have that. You really
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, Travis. Yes. He says if they make Kirk Cousins look bad, can you imagine what they'll do to Justin Fields? Are you saying Cousins is better than Fields? Yes, Cousins is better than Fields. He is for now. For now. Our next game, we have a good one now. We're starting off with the good ones now. Here we go. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. My brother, I'm
Ooh.
going with the Jaguars to win this game.
Wow.
Yes, I think Trevor Lawrence and gang. This is it right here. This is it. This is it. While Travis Kelsey is still 50-50 coming in there, they got Chris Jones. I understand that Chris Jones is back now, uh, but I'm trying to figure out. One, it's gonna be hot AF in
That's
Jacksonville.
true.
It is early in the season, still in September, and it's usually about 100 degrees out there. It's good to have this game for the Jaguars right now. And then my thing is, who is Mahomes gonna throw it to? Who's that guy? I think Jacksonville takes advantage of that for one game. Now, this might not be how it is at the end of the season, but I'm going with the Jaguars right now to win this game over the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Jaguars are in prime position at home. It's going to be an early game, hot AF, and I think that they'll gas out the Kansas City Chiefs. Still a close game though, close game, but Jaguars find a way to win.
Fair enough. Hey, I respect your decision. And if Travis Kelsey plays, would that change it?
No,
No, you still
if
think
if if if
Jacksonville?
Kelsey plays, I'm still going with Jacksonville.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Ah, this was the hard. I think this has got to be. I think this was like was the hardest game I chose this week simply because what we saw on Thursday night really, really reduced my faith in the Chiefs. But then again, it is still Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like he can
Right.
still cause. He just needs those receivers to hold on to the ball. But I am gonna go with you. It took me so long. I was sort of like, am I?
Ooh.
Aren't I? But yeah, it is at home for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, yes, they won, but I trust the Jacksonville team currently
Well, just because we both picked
more.
it now the Jaguars gonna lose by 2 touchdowns.
Oh,
God.
definitely, yeah. Yeah. Pat Mahomes is pissed off,
Yeah,
and
he's
he
gonna
is going.
pass us up 400 yards now, and Tony will catch everything all of a sudden.
I remember what a couple of years ago when Brady was still in his prime at the Buccaneers with the Patriots, and they will struggle for like 2 games, have a really bad loss at home, and it'll be like, right, we've pissed off Tom Brady, and then he goes to win another Super Bowl.
My
Yeah.
God, dog.
Yeah, it was like that. It's like, oh, there he is.
We
There's the
got
thing that avoided.
yeah. That's oh man, that's gonna be tough, man. We're gonna find out though. Chiefs versus Jaguars gonna be a good one. That might
Yeah.
be potential for game of the week. We'll find out. We have two 1-0 squads. The Green Bay Packers at the Atlanta Falcons. This should be a very
Oh,
interesting matchup, and I cannot wait to have my eyes glued to this one as well. I'll let you go
yeah.
first.
I'm going with Green Bay Packers. Like Jordan Love showed he's good. Like he's really good. Like sitting behind Rodgers, he learned a lot. And I know they finally just realised they can run the ball, which they did in the third quarter, and hopefully they keep like that. But I just feel like Falcons did well. Falcons really, I am still very high on the Falcons, but the Packers are still the more complete squad. Their defense is
Did we lose TJ? TJ, can you hear me, brother? See if I can get him back. TJ,
Falcons offense.
I'm gonna get him back. Hold on, y'all. We'll get him back. We'll get him back. Y'all, give me 1 second. But yeah, also I'm gonna go with my pick first. So he's going with Green Bay, and I'm going with the Packers as well, you guys. I'm going with Green Bay as well. So my whole thing about the Packers is that I think they're just a better team. I think defensively wise, they're gonna find out how to how to dominate that Falcon squad. I got all faith in Green Bay right now. They went on the road against a hostile environment against their um, rivals in the Chicago Bears and really put it on them. Really put it on them, man. And I think Atlanta, although they're not what I'm trying to say, they're not division rivals, but these are two upstart teams, and I think the Packers have the better squad available for that. And here's my thing: Jordan Love really showed the world. I'm here to stay, you guys. I'm that dude. I'm not going nowhere. I trust Jordan Love more than I trust Ritter, and I do like what I see in Ritter. And we have TJ back with us, you guys. Can you hear me, TJ?
I can hear you. Can you
Yes,
hear
yes,
me?
sir, yes, sir. We got you back in.
We were we were doing so well.
Oh no, you're
It
good,
was
man. You're
two whole
good.
weeks. 2 whole weeks without technical difficulties. But
Nah,
yeah,
it's all
of course.
good, man. We're back though. That's all that matters.
So
But yeah, I'm going with the Packers to win this game. I think Jordan Love is going to
yeah,
take that next step. He already won a big road game as it is, and as they take on the Falcons, do they have enough firepower on offense? That Packers defense look hella good. Is it a good
yeah,
Packers defense or a bad Bears offense? I think it was more of the Packers have a really good defense. Very underrated, and that's their biggest part of the Packers this year is their defense, in my opinion. So
I
I'm
completely agree.
so we're both agreeing on Green Bay. We're gonna go with the Packers to beat the Falcons in that game. Um, but it
Which
should be a very interesting matchup, though.
it is. It is. I'm
Nonetheless,
very high on Atlanta this year. I
yes,
feel like they're
yes.
going to do very well. So
Atlanta's gonna be competitive, and
very
this
competitive. Yeah,
game is gonna be competitive as well.
yeah, I
I can
completely
see
agree.
it a 3 point kind of game, a swing game between the Packers and the Falcons. Um, but I do like the Falcons. I like them how they're gonna compete. But the Packers the same way though. Packers will compete as well. Aaron Jones is a very questionable player though. Is Aaron Jones had a hammy issue. Now, if he can't play, that might change my mind. If Aaron
Yeah,
Jones cannot play, because he was the offense in week one.
yeah, he was. He
He was the
was.
offense. I know I had him on fantasy, and then yeah, I was happy as hell, man. But I still lost because my opponent had the Dallas Cowboys defense. If you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, that would have
78 points, TJ.
78 points.
78 points for his freaking defense. All right, next game. We got the Raiders. I'm mad about this still, bro. So mad. I lost by 15 points, bro. I lost by 15
Oh,
because they scored
damn.
78, bro. I was beating his ass the whole time. Cabbage patching. I was happy. We won this. And the Cowboys put up 78 points. That's the most points ever in my league, bro. Off of one player or defense. It's crazy how they win that one.
Really? My
78,
goodness.
man. Nasty. I lied. I think the most points was like Derrick Henry, like 5 years ago. He had like a 80-something point game. He went crazy on the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Anyways, our next game we have keeping the AFC. We have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'll go first. Buffalo. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
Is that
Uh,
it? Mic drop. Okay.
yeah, mic drop. Yeah, nah. Buffalo's pissed off right now about what happened yesterday. I think that they come out with a vengeance. Their first home game as well. Raiders barely squeaked by the Broncos. Broncos got a good defense. Buffalo has a good defense as well, but at home, I think Allen goes dumb in this game, or Bills fans hope so. Raiders, they didn't look good against the Broncos, but the Broncos suck too, though. So I mean, it all worked out, man. I'm going with the Bills and win this game easily.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to have a bounce back game, and they almost won against the New York Jets defense, which is a lot better than the Las Vegas defense. And it was Josh Allen literally throwing the game away. But yeah, like he's going to be a lot harsher on himself. Hey, if he comes out and looks terrible, something again. You're going to have the concerns rise exponentially in Buffalo, but the defense of Buffalo should also be able to handle Jimmy G
Yeah.
offense because the Broncos managed to do it. Like it was only a 1 point loss, and that 1 point came from a missed kick by the
Will
Broncos.
Lutz.
Yeah, but they managed to keep Adams in check. They managed to keep Josh Jacobs in check. Like the player that burnt the Broncos the most was Jacoby Myers, and I think the Bills defense can keep Jacoby Myers in check as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with Buff at home and hopefully a more improved looking Josh Allen.
All right, gotcha, man. Yeah, both got Buffalo. We got the Chargers versus the Titans now. In this matchup, my brother. Who you got going on, TJ?
I'm going to go with the Chargers
Mm.
simply because Ryan Tannehill looked horrific. Like it was bad, and the Chargers showed what they can do when they let their offense run. So I honestly don't see the Titans putting up 30 points this entire season. So I I just don't know how they can keep up with the Chargers offense. Who knows? The Chargers might charge up. It is the Chargers. That entire sentence made sense apparently.
It does, yeah.
So I reckon the Chargers will win, and hopefully, the Titans show there is life there because I like Variable, I like Hopkins, like I like the players on the team. I do like Tannehill, which is it's a shame, especially I like King Henry, but Tannehill's done. I don't think there's anything left in that tank. Maybe it's time to see what is it Malik Willis and
Will
Will
Levis.
Levis has Will Levis just to see if that fresh blood can bring a spark to a very old engine.
Yeah,
So
we'll
yeah,
see.
who you got?
Oh, I'm going with the upset of the week, baby. We going to Titans. I'm
Oh
going Tennessee to win this game. I'm going to.
wow!
I got a feeling. I'm not gonna say the Chargers will charge it, but they might still charge it. But I'm looking for Derrick Henry to have a monster game, a
Fair.
bounce back game from New Orleans, which is a really good defense in New Orleans.
Mhm.
But the Titans defense also really good, and I think
Yes.
they'll keep. At home against the Chargers, they'll keep the Chargers at base somewhat, and I think the Titans find a way with some key turnovers or whatever. Look, Tennessee, what we saw, they find a way to stay in games. No, if you watch the Titans games over the last 3 or 4 years, it feels like every game is a nail biter for Tennessee. Every game is always a close game. This will be no different. Once again, first home game. I believe that they go out there and shock the Chargers. Chargers go to 0-2. Uh, and Titans go to 1-1. I'm going with Mr. Henry to run over the Chargers easily 100 plus rushing yards in this game.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, we've got to have some differences in our
Oh
picks.
yeah,
They're very
man.
similar. I
Oh,
think that's
facts,
what only
facts.
two so far.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll go. I always go back and watch it and tally it up before our
Yeah, I've
next
got it on
show.
my. I'm writing it down as my phone as we go.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Next game on the docket. NFC West rivals. We have the San Francisco Niners taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going 49ers. It was nice, a good story about the Rams in that first week against Seattle, but Seattle's not San Francisco. I think San Fran. I'm not going to say easily wins this game. I'm not. I'll give some respect to Matt Stafford, but Stafford has struggled even with a great team. Stafford struggled against the Niners. Now he has a somewhat subpar offense against the same Niners defense that's just great. I'm going Niners to win this game. Um, Comfortable. I won't say easy. I'll say comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they win comfortably.
I've got to go with the Niners as well. Like we went against them last week with
Yeah, yeah.
Pittsburgh,
We laid
and
an egg on that one, man. That was
yeah,
bad.
they showed us they took that personally. They listened to
They
this
listen.
and they
That's right.
took
They
it
listen to the
personally.
podcast. It's like, who are these bums? You know.
um, yeah, it's gonna be bad. And like Bosa's back. Obviously, when we chose those picks, Bosa wasn't back, so we might hopefully get some forgiveness there if you are listening again for the
Right.
Niners. Uh, but no, they're like I said earlier this episode, they look like the most complete team.
Yes.
Um, and the Rams, hey, they shocked us. They surprised us by going out and handling the Seahawks.
Although I did say in that first stream, I was like, I'm going back and forth with this game between
Fair, you
Seattle
did,
and
yeah.
Rams. And I was like, I'm going, and I kept saying Rams, 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 Rams. And at the end, I was like, I'm going Seattle. And I should have stuck with the old gut, man. Should have stuck with the old gut.
Fair, but yeah, it's the Niners are just gonna
Right.
be a scary team this entire season.
All right, and we have probably the game of the week for week 2. Y'all, don't blink too fast. The New York Giants taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh my goodness!
Who are we going with in this game, bro? Oh my God, who you got, TJ?
Honestly, this is hard because Washington barely beat Arizona. Like they were behind until like 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like Arizona was surprisingly a lot better than what I thought. Maybe it's just week one blues, and maybe Washington is a lot worse than what we thought. But I'm gonna go with the Giants simply because I trust Dable a lot more. They've got they've got Saquon Barkley, and I feel like if Daniel Jones shows that he clearly is still not good, and it is turning into a Flacco contract, like I said,
Oh man, I hope not.
they are just going to run the ball down Arizona's throat, and hopefully their defense can handle Arizona's wide receivers. But hey, Arizona's defense looked a lot better than what I thought. So who knows? This could be a game that can go either way, especially with how awful the Giants looked.
I'm going with the Giants easily. I
Yeah,
think the Giants. I think the run game itself. I think they'll get back to running. Look, the Cardinals are not the Cowboys' defense at all.
fair.
They're not. I think the Giants will have a much easier time. As long as Dan Jones does not turn the ball over, uh, they should win this pretty easily. And another big part of that game against the Cowboys, it was a sloppy field environment. It was raining all
Yeah,
day. The ball was wet a lot in that game. I think in the dome in Arizona, they'll be fine, and I think that Giants win this pretty easily in my opinion. As long as
yeah,
DJ and look for Dan Jones to have a big game. I'm gonna go with 250 passing, 3 touchdowns, something like that for Daniel Jones in this game. I think they bounce back in a big way and beat the Cardinals.
fair, and hopefully so because I do like Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I do like. I like how he was hated the moment he was drafted, and he sort of kind of proved that yeah, you hated me, but I'm okay.
Right.
Technically, he is a professional athlete in two sports. Did you know that?
And what other sport is he? A baseball player?
No, I doubt you'll get. Doubt you. But he is technically
A tennis
a
player?
a professional. I believe you guys call it cornholer.
Oh,
He is a professional
he's a
athlete.
cornhole player.
Yeah, he is a professional athlete in the sport of cornhole.
Professional cornhole player. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, it doesn't
Hey,
take
back
that much athleticism to do that. Hey, I mean, Pat Mahomes is a bath bomb guy. You guys seen the commercials. I mean, anything is possible, man. All
Yeah,
right. Our next game should be a very interesting one. We have the New York Jets taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Um,
very interesting. Yeah,
I do like the matchup for defensive purposes. Uh, although for the feel good story, I really want to go the Jets. I just gotta go with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are gonna go ahead and smack a bowl Zach Wilson. I hope not, but I think the Cowboys win this one. And I'm not gonna say 40-0 at all. Hell no.
no,
Because you gotta put some respect on the Jets defense. Um, But I'm gonna go with the Cowboys winning very comfortable in this game by at least 2 scores for sure. I got the Cowboys going 2-0, making Jets go 1-1. What you got?
Yeah, I agree. It's. I do have a question though. If Rodgers was playing, would you still go with Dallas?
It all depends on how he looked in week 1.
No, that's true. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't. We can't ask that. We can't ask that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but in this game itself, I would have still chose Dallas. Even if Aaron
fair.
Rodgers played and was okay in that game, I'd have chose Dallas regardless because Dallas's defense is early in the year right now. So Dallas is going to take advantage of these inept offenses, but then you know how Dallas does. They get to the end of this year and they just start collapsing as always. So yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Dallas is gonna win, but I see it being a lot closer. I
okay,
feel like the Jets defense is going to put Dak in a lot more tricky situation, even though it's at home. Dak for the last couple years, yeah, he has one or two like outstanding games, but he hasn't looked like Dak of old, if you know
no,
what I mean.
fair.
And ever since he's come back from his ankle splitting in the wrong direction, he just doesn't seem to be the Dak of he used to. He throws more interceptions, he throws more risky throws.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
and I don't know why. And obviously, he's lost his friend Zeke there. But so I feel like the Jets defense is going to have a lot more problems for him. But this is where this game shows what kind of team the Jets are going to be. Are they going to
Yeah,
rally around Wilson and be like, yeah, okay, this sucks, but we are a team. We're going to show that we can win no matter who our QB is and that we are going to help him? Or are they just going to be like, okay, it's a wash. Let's just go. Let's just try and stay healthy until next year.
yeah, I agree. We'll find out. This will be a test for both teams, honestly,
Yeah.
because Dallas, I said earlier, their offense wasn't sharp at all in that game, but the
No.
defense really took over, so you didn't care about it as much, or it's not a lot of talk about that game. Um,
Yeah.
all right, we have another great matchup in front of us, you guys. We're going with the Washington Commanders at the Denver Broncos. uh,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
who we got going for that, TJ?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go Denver.
All right.
I'm gonna go Denver.
Ooh.
Washington almost lost to Arizona, and I know Arizona is not a good team. Like even though it was close, I still think Arizona is not a good team at all. And I think that Denver, even though they lost to the Vegas Raiders, they they looked it it was a look in the more apart from the sloppy plays because there was a lot of sloppy plays like they were not disciplined, but Russ looked better. Like the defense did look a bit better. Like Satan kept Adams locked down pretty much the entire game. And I
Yeah,
assume they're going to do
yeah.
that with the game. So hopefully, Sean Payton can like get the team to gel a bit more because it was concerning. It was very concerning because it is just more of the same. How can they get Sean Payton and it look exactly the same?
It it,
You know what I
it,
mean?
it kind of did. They're the 16 gang, man. They can't get out there
Yeah,
16 for some
they
reason.
can't get more than 16,
Well, my brother,
and I feel like they can keep Washington under 16 points.
I'm going Washington, man.
You're gonna go
I'm
Washington?
going Washington. And I think Washington wins the game 17-16.
Again, honestly, if that happens, Brandon Perner is going to just quit you, dude. He's just like,
I'm telling you, he is right. I'm going with Washington to win this game. I don't know. I said it earlier to myself. I was like, yeah, Washington's going to find a way to win this game. And there's going to be some kind of talk about Washington midway in the year being a decent-ish team.
yeah,
Um, as far as maybe at the 500 mark, first half of the year, 4-4, 5-4, 4-5, whatever. But I'm going with the Commanders to win this game, an ugly game. these two teams, they put the in ugly for sure. Uh,
Yeah, they
so yeah,
do.
I'm going Commanders over the Broncos. I just don't trust the Broncos offense right now. I just don't. I don't. I don't trust the red zone. Every time they get to the red zone, for the most part, these guys are kicking field goals, man, or turning the
Yeah.
ball over, or getting sacked in the red zone. It's bad right now, and it happened last year with Hack. It's happening right now. First, only one game with Peyton, but still, look kind of the same to me. You know,
How is that possible?
it's player personnel.
Yeah, it's got to be right.
It's
Yes.
gotta be. It's the player personnel, but in professional sports, it's a player ran league. Is so the players go before the coaches.
Fair,
The coaches go before the players. Excuse me. So yeah,
fair, fair.
you got to stick it out the players, yada 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 yada. But now in this instant, Peyton has the leverage because it's either if it's someone now between Peyton or Russell, Russell's gone. So
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
because it's gonna be Peyton's gonna put his own people in this thing eventually, who he wants. Um, he didn't get to
Yeah.
choose because when Peyton came to New Orleans, he got to choose Drew Brees.
hmm
You
hmm
know, he didn't get to choose Russell Wilson. He was already there by ownership. So yeah, but I'm going Washington to win this game. I hope Denver wins. I hope so because I don't want they're gonna get crushed by the media to go 0-2 against
Oh, it's going to be
two
horrific.
subpar teams in the Raiders and the Commanders. So yeah, I'm going Washington to win this one though, and I think Sam Howell is gonna somehow win this game. See what I just
Oh,
did right
God.
there? Oh, that was
Oh,
awesome.
yes. Oh, no. My goodness.
Peter said, "Stop, please stop." That was funny though, PJ. God, dog, that was funny. That was off the dome, man. Anyways, all right. Our next game on the docket, y'all. We're almost done, you guys. We have Sunday night football. We have the AFC West showing some love. We have the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots, you guys. I'm going first, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah, you are.
oh my gosh, man. God, this the tough one. I went back and forth big time with this game. I did, and I'm sticking to my guns, man. I'm going New England Patriots.
I thought you would.
I, I
I
think I
honestly
think
thought you
Pa-
would.
I
Yeah.
think Patriots win. I went back and forth, man, forever. I'm at lunch at work today, and I was like, man, who am I going with? And I was like, I would love to go with Miami because boy, they did such a good job, man. But I always tell folks the Chargers are going to always charger it. But the Chargers do not have the best home field advantage, man. Their home field sucks. The Chargers is always 50-50 crowds out there because it's LA. And the Chargers don't have a great fan base as it is. So half the stadium is always the other team. Well, now you go to New England, where 97% is going to be Patriots fans. It's Sunday
Yeah.
night football. Mac
Yeah.
Jones look good, and the defense, the Patriots defense, much better than the Chargers defense. Um, I think the Patriots win a close game. It's going to be fun, exciting. I cannot wait to call this game because I think I will call this game. And Tua versus that defense. If Tua can carve this defense out, yeah, Tua's that dude right now. Yeah, he's that. He's that. If he can carve this defense out, he's that dude. So it's one of those I gotta see it to believe it. I'm going New England because that defense will put Mac Jones in really good situations, and they'll get after Tua. And let's see what he does when he has some pressure on him.
Yeah, no, I completely understand why you went there, and I'm going to go with Miami,
Yes, sir.
simply because the Patriots defense was amazing. Like it held us in check. I hold my hands up; it did really well, and their offense started to get into a rhythm and score pretty well. But I don't know if their defense can withstand Hill.
Mm.
Like, um, to explain, I think they split last year, but I think one of the games was when Tua was out with the concussion. So
Yes.
I think the games they won, Tua did carve them up, but obviously they did have Patricia as their OC. But I'm gonna go with Miami winning, I feel like the Chargers offense is way better than the New England offense, and I feel like even though the Miami's defense is not as good, it can still keep them in check long enough for their for the Miami's offense to build the lead up. For if New England does get into a roll, it's too late. The lead's already there
Yeah,
and can hold them off. So either this is going to be, I reckon this is going to be about mid-20s sort of game.
that sounds about
Sort of
right.
what they had already, yeah. But I reckon the Miami's going to get ahead, maybe like 27-23, kind of game. Like New England could win it, but they're not going to in the end.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, and let's go with. We have a double header for
Yeah, that's
Monday
weird.
Night Football. Y'all, the first one is going to be the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. I will be calling that game, as a matter of fact, for Monday Night Football. One of the rare Saints games I'll be calling. Uh, but we have the Saints at the Panthers. Who you got in that one, TJ?
It's your team. I let you go first. Go for it,
Hey
mate.
man, I'm going New Orleans all day, baby. I,
Surprising no one.
yeah, I'm going New Orleans in this one because Bryce Young. It's funny because last year it was Saints at Panthers week 2. I picked the Panthers to win, right?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm that guy. I go against my team when I feel like Uneducated Sports Talk makes me do that. But this year I'm going with the Saints. Bryce Young, he's just not going to be able to handle the Saints defense. I'm telling you, this Saints defense is humming. Our front four, we got a really good front four. I love what I saw against the Titans, how we just suffocated Tannehill, and we're gonna do the same thing to Bryce Young. I feel like Bryce Young just won't have time to read his progressions because the Saints coming. Demario Davis, y'all, the most underrated linebacker in all the NFL. Demario Davis is a freaking beast, man. That's my favorite player,
Yeah.
and he is going to put the woodshed on Bryce Young. Weapons, Saints are just going to shut down all their weapons, honestly. But thanks to an anemic Saints offense, it will be a close game, though. I think Saints win by like a score of, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 to 14, something like that. Uh, but I got New Orleans winning just because of their defense, and I think this is a must-win game for New Orleans, honestly. You want to win this game to establish yourself as being that top-tier team in the NFC South. If you can win this game, because if you lose this game, you get the
Oof.
worst
Yeah.
team in the conference, hope, which means the
Yeah.
Buccaneers aren't scared of you. The Falcons aren't scared of you. If the Carolina Panthers can win, they're not. No, obviously they're not scared of you either. So yeah, I'm going New Orleans to win this game, man. But a very close game. But who that nation? Let's go 2-0, baby.
Yeah, I agree. The Saints are gonna win. Like I bet against you last time because I wasn't sure how Carl was gonna play, and hey, he did strike. There was some problems,
There
but
were problems, yeah, there were.
he got it going. He did what he needed to do, and that's just another week getting used to this offense. And yeah, your defense is gonna eat Bryce Young because he's a rookie QB. And hey, Miles Sanders didn't look too bad last week, but you are a more complete team, and you are ready to compete.
I just think this team is ready to compete in the NFC.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
can't wait till we play. If we can win this game, we have Packers week 3. And
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
if the Packers win and we win, we'll be 2-0 going to week 3. That'll be awesome to watch. I'm hoping that's the case. We'll see though. But yeah, all right, we're going to New Orleans. Here we go. And our last game on the docket, we're going with the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. AFC North matchup. This game is going to come on an hour after the Saints and the Panthers. So I'll let you go first on this one.
Um, I'm gonna go with Cleveland. Like they showed, well, they handled Cincinnati so well, and like yes, Watson had some rust. I hope maybe the rust is gonna go as the week goes on, but we also then saw the Steelers get manhandled by the 49ers, and the Steelers just didn't look good, and
Yeah.
they just didn't look good at all. And the Browns are that more is the better team, and I feel like even though it's at home, the Browns are going to walk in and they are going to beat the Steelers, and it's going to show like okay, the Browns are going to be the ones to potentially be the ones to beat in the North, because obviously they'll be 2-0, and I don't think the Ravens are going to be 2-0. So, and maybe the Steelers are starting to panic after this game, and this might be their first season where they have a losing record.
Might be. You never know.
Might
Uh,
be.
I'd say I got two names, one person. Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
Myles Garrett. First of all, he put a number on Joe Burrow this past Sunday. He is going to be in Kenny Pickett's grill all game. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns to win this one. I still will give Pittsburgh an outside shot of making it competitive. I'm not going to go out and say they're going to get killed. I think it'll be somewhat a competitive game. And the Browns in that offense as well will keep them kind of in this game until hopefully Deshaun Watson can get things going later on for them. But right now, I'm going with the Browns to win this game. I think they're just the better team from top to bottom. And I like Nick Chubb as well to get his run on in this game, man. He went over 100 yards in week one. I
yeah,
reckon this guy will go over 100 yards in most games this year. I've got that feeling that he's going to just be that dude, man. And Pittsburgh, I'm not worried about Pittsburgh early in the season, right? I think, as always, they'll find a way to bounce back because that's Mike
fair.
Tomlin's MO. And he's had a bad roster since remember it was Le'Veon Bell, AB, and
Yeah,
Roethlisberger. That was the last like hoorah they had when AB left and Bell just was a shell of himself. That's when he started having a very inept offense, and he still found ways to win games. So, but you don't want to go 0-2 though, because you want to still.
no,
It's not about being over 500. It's about going to the playoffs. And right now 0-2. I don't care. It's only 17 games you play. You know, you want to get as many wins as you can. So I'm
mhm.
going with the Browns though to win this game. I love what I see from their running game and their defense, and I think that's going to carry them for a while now. You know,
Yeah,
until
no,
Watson and those guys can kind of come back and get things cracking for them, as we would say, man.
yeah,
All right,
no, it's fair enough. But yeah.
thank you. Thought I gave
Ooh,
some
got a little
change,
gift.
a little money. She know I love
Nice tip
change.
for you.
She know I love change. Yeah, I will
Um,
take it.
yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting game, and this game's actually being played on like public TV in the UK. Like
Oh,
anyone can
okay.
tune in on Channel 5, so original name there. So it's going to be interesting to see what a game to actually show the British public. And
Oh,
hopefully, it's
that's
going to
dope.
get people involved in it. So yeah,
If
fingers
you guys are
crossed.
in the chat right now, I want to say thank y'all. It's our longest stream we have so far, but thank y'all for the love. We appreciate that. And if you guys have any questions, man, ask on it. We're here to answer all the questions you guys have for us, man. So let us know in the chat if you have any questions, man. But any hot takes, TJ? Any hot takes you got
Any
going on?
hot takes? Ooh, it's gonna get harder as the weeks go on. I'd say
It,
because
it is. It is. It is. It's gonna be really hard. I mean, we don't have to have one every week now.
no,
Yeah.
we got it. I like this. I like this. This makes this good. But what's crazy is our hot takes. Some of them are coming true, and I don't like. We joked about the QB prospect in college staying in college. Who's he called?
Say it
The
again.
the number one overall pick QB who we assume is going to be in
Uh,
college right now.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, yeah, he openly admitted he will stay in college if he doesn't like the team who's got the number one pick, which we were joking about 2 weeks like 2 weeks
Right, right, right,
ago.
right. Yep.
So it's just
So
like
yeah,
ridiculous.
crazy.
Um, ooh, I'm going to go. I don't think the Bills are going to win the East anymore.
Mm,
I think they're going to come third.
bro,
I do. I
bro.
honestly, I
I'm
did
about
not
to say.
like it.
I was gonna say the same thing, bro. my hot take was gonna be I think the Dolphins win the division.
Really?
That's my hot take. I think Miami wins the
Fair,
division.
fair.
So
Yeah, I don't know you there.
so you're going with the Bills to not win the East.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Dolphins to win the East.
win the East.
So that was my hot take with the Dolphins win the East. I think now this depends on if they're healthy all day long, right?
Of
Obviously,
course,
a
yeah.
lot. I mean, everything depends on health, obviously. Uh, but yeah, man, I think the Dolphins. They got look. 2 years ago, Dolphins had an awesome defense, man. They were
Yeah,
great, great. Last year they kind of fell off. I loved them so much. I got them in fantasy last year. I was like, yeah, and
yeah,
whoo, they fell off hard uh, because their wins were shootouts. It was getting on my nerves, man. So, but I think their defense can come back to life, and if their defense can somewhat match their offense, I think the Dolphins are going to have a great, great, great year this year. Now, after watching that first game, although we know the Chargers love to charger it.
yeah. True. That is true. Uh, it's going to be very interesting.
Travis says, "Hey, Tita, do you have a cornhole in the UK?"
So we have. It's not a massive sport over here because I imagine cornhole's being played a lot of tailgates. Is that right?
Yeah, tailgates. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have tailgates in the UK. That's not a thing. It's more. I'm going to go down to the pub before the game. I'm going to go to the game, eat a pie with more beer, then go to the pub afterwards. That's sort of our routine. I think it's called like beanbag toss over here. Like cornhole to me is an alien word, so it
Yeah,
feels a
yeah,
bit
yeah. I
unusual
feel you.
saying that.
And
And
it's funny because as kids we called it like beanbag toss. I didn't know about
yeah,
cornhole until I got like much older in life. Like, oh, that's what it's called, cornhole. We called it beanbag toss.
it's such a weird name to call it.
I don't. Someone got drunk AF because there was a lot of drunk guys play that game, obviously, and
Yeah.
they get drunk and they just throw this bag into this hole and they say, "Let's call it cornhole." All right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can also see Travis has got another question. TJ, I was wondering, do you actually stay up late your time to watch the NFL games, Thursday night, Monday night, or Sunday night football? So, Travis, yeah, I pretty much, if the game's interesting, I will watch all of it. Like I watched all of the game yesterday. I think it stopped at 5 in the morning over here after overtime. But if the game's pretty meh, I may go to halftime and then call it sleep. But obviously, the Eagles are playing on Thursday, so I'll be watching all the game. And Sunday night football, the sad truth, it depends how much I've drunk that Sunday. If I can't stay awake, I'm not watching.
Hey man, it the Dolphins, man. You know you don't watch
I'm
that.
gonna have to,
You know
yeah,
you
I don't
gonna
think I'll
watch
be.
that.
So yeah, but no, it normally starts about 1:20 in the morning is when the game starts, and obviously it goes on to 4 or 5 hours. There's a nice period of time where my clocks fall back and yours hasn't yet, so I get a nice like midnight game.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Hell yeah.
And then obviously you catch up, and I'm like, oh, I have to go back to start at 1:20 in the morning.
All right. They say, hey, Mike Yo said, who is the best backup the New York Jets could get? Is there a name? Is there? I imagine a veteran coming in.
Would you trade for one?
There's
Would you
been
trade for
talk.
like a guy?
There's been talks about the Jets winning Jameis Winston, but
Ooh.
the Saints have quickly said no to that. They did because we need Jameis just in case Carr gets hurt. We got to have somebody. Our third string quarterback got popped for PD, so I mean,
Yes, he did.
but no, the Jets were looking at Jameis Winston to trade, but we said no to that quickly. I was thinking a guy like Carson Wentz. Just he doesn't have to start, obviously, but you want someone just in case Wilson does get hurt. You want someone who's been in some games, and I can't. If you're on the street right now, it's for a reason,
Yeah.
right? Because if you look at if I had a second what the fudge cake kind of thing, it would be the offenses just stank this week.
Yeah,
They were just disgusting. Now, I understand it's early in the year, but I've never seen a week one this bad in my life. I'm
it
gonna
was
keep it
bad.
real. I've never seen a week one of NFL season this damn bad. And if you look, the days of I'm gonna start naming off these guys. Tell me if you heard these guys, right? Eli Manning, Philip
Yep,
Rivers, Ben
yep.
Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan. You know, these guys are gone. If you think about it now, we only have about six really decent to good to great quarterbacks in this league. Out of
Yeah,
32 teams, the quarterback play is starting to not be good. I think probably because college is more towards these running quarterbacks now, trying to convert these guys to running and throwing the ball. If you think about it, if you name them Pat Mahomes, um, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and we're talking about Josh Allen who just threw in 3 interceptions. Burrow
yep,
just had 82 yards passing. Herbert was the lone one besides Mahomes who had a ho hum day. Herbert was the only one that did some things. Tua did his thing, and then you started at Lamar Jackson. And then the rest
yeah.
of the guys are like, the Dak Prescotts, the Kirk Cousins of the world. Those guys, well, Trevor Lawrence also is a dude, you know. But you're like, that's like 8 guys. There's 32 starting quarterbacks, and I only have faith in maybe 8 of them, right? So it tells you if you're on the streets with this kind of bad productivity as quarterback, there's a reason. Um, so I don't know who the Jets would get. I would argue it had to be someone from the streets, though. I'm first thing first come to mind is uh, I'll, they're not calling Matt Ryan. They're not calling Matt
No, I'm
Ryan.
not
He's he,
calling that
no,
one.
he looked horrible last year. Um,
Newton,
he looked horrible. Who?
Cam Newton. We said he'll play.
Hill?
Cam Newton.
Oh, Cam Newton. No, see, he's been out the league for so long. It's almost like the Colin Kaepernick thing. Been out the league for too long now. Like I don't
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
these guys. Newton's been out the league for 2 years now, almost 2 full years. If he goes all this year.
yeah.
And
I
I
think so.
think he's having such great success with his podcast and all that stuff. So I don't know if he wants to come back. But and if he comes back, will he want to be a backup? I don't think Cam is that
I
guy that
doubt it.
I want to be the starter. And
Yeah,
but Carson Wentz is like he could be the backup and will have no issue, in my opinion. So that's all I can think of right now for the Jets as far as a veteran, and because they're not going to trade for anyone right now in the beginning of the season. No
yeah.
team right now is going to give up their number 2 quarterback. You know
I've got one.
who's that?
Marcus Mariota, they can take him. They just take him. Give us a third, fifth. Just get rid of him. We've got some value for him there. I
He said,
don't want
"I'll
the
take
max.
I'll take a 7. If you have
I'll
an
take a
8, if
seven.
you have an 8, I'll take an 8 too. It don't matter.
I do
Okay."
not like Marcus Mariota.
I,
Get
I,
rid of him.
I understand that from your point of view. Uh, yeah, I really get that from your point of view. Let's see. Travis, I also wondered then, where are there any all-night bars that maybe cater to Americans where you can watch those games? Are you stuck at home? I imagine there's some bars like that, right?
So the UK, it's sort of like we are very on. When it hits a certain time, there's no noise, and like some restaurants can't even have like there's a McDonald's. My closest McDonald's can't get 24 hours because it's too close to houses, even though you can't see them. So bars are meant to be. I think it's when it hits 12 or 1, they're meant to shut. But then you can potentially, if you like your local, you can get a lock in where they shut the doors, no one can get in, but you just sort of keep drinking inside.
Uh,
So I reckon there's one called like the Sporty Cow. Uh, but I'm not going to lie, that's more if you go in there, you might get stabbed. So I'm going to stay at home where I keep the blood inside my body.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
So I think there is ways, but I'd rather spend £20 on a pack of 18 Heineken instead of £5 a pint. So
I can't argue with that, brother. All right, y'all. Well, this was a great stream. I want to thank y'all for the love and support, man. PJ, in the last words, she said, "Nah, I'm just big hungry right now." Oh Lord, girl, you hungry?
ooh,
Always hungry. All right. But no, any last words, TJ? You good?
I hope you had a fantastic birthday.
Oh, I hope you did as well, man. We're
Oh,
such
very
great
nice.
guys. I hope you
Yeah.
did as well. I had a great one, man. I spent time with my siblings, my brothers and my
Nice.
sisters, and my sister came from out of town, and we
Ooh,
had
lovely.
a great time. We watched football, we drank, ate. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was awesome. Laid back like I like it. I'm not a big birthday guy as it is, uh, but so my family always makes sure I do something, because if not, I
Yeah.
won't do nothing. I won't. My birthday is literally just another day to me. Uh, so my family said, "No, when you coming to the house, we gonna cook and we gonna drink and all right, cool, we coming in." And so, yeah. Well, how about you? What you do for your birthday?
Got it. Um, it was sort of the situations where, yeah, I understand a lot of our families like, yeah, it was just another day, so we make sure to do something special for all of us. But it was like all of us was working on the Friday, so it's like let's just move it to the Sunday. Sunday is
Right.
when we do the birthday. Like my best mates are Patriots fans, so we got the game at the end. So I had to work at the beginning, but then we played mini golf in Colchester Park, which is a Roman castle that's near me, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's dope.
Yeah, and start
While
drink.
you're watching that game, Eagles and Patriots, how scale 1 to 10, were you about to have a heart attack?
At the beginning, my bragging was over the top because obviously we got the pick six, we got the
16
fumble.
nothing right
We were
now,
like,
baby. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, and obviously my mate started to panic and that
He
kind of
said
stuff.
panic.
But then, as the game progressed, I silently just sort of sunk into my chair and just sort of pulled the beer close to my lips as my friend was celebrating. He didn't start to brag. He was just sort of like, "Oh my god, my team's not going to suck." I'm like, "Yeah, good for you."
Good for
Slowly,
you.
slowly
Yeah.
drinking, winding up, trying to be conspicuous.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I had my little moments too for the Saints game, but for some reason it was, even when we were down a lot of times, we're down 3-0 and then 6-3 and then 9-6, and I still never had a doubt in that. And for some reason, it might be old age now, because back in the day I would have been flipping out like, we can't score a freaking touchdown. And we finally got that touchdown from Carr to Shaheed, and I finally calmed down. I was like, we're good. Yeah, our defense we were just on one that day, and I was like, ain't no
Yeah.
way they cannot score a touchdown on us. They cannot. They just can't. I know they can't. So I was very relaxed, very calm, man. So
Fair, fair.
it was a great Sunday. Both our teams got dubs, man, and
That's
saying
all
we
that matters.
got to do this, y'all. So thank y'all, man, for being a part of this channel, on the chat, showing love, man. Without you guys, none of this is possible, man. So hit that share button for your boy. Share this with all your family and friends. Hit that like button on your way out, man. And I want to thank y'all for the love and the support, man. For the homegirl PJ and our main man TJ Tracy. We call him TJ Tracy 2378. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. It's another episode of Tuesdays with TJ. This was episode number 6. We'll see you guys for episode number 7 next Tuesday from Uneducated Sports Talk. Will break down all of week 2's action and our picks and predictions for week 3, you guys, all sports fans. You guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace. Later, mama. Have a good
Have a
night,
good night,
TJ.
everyone.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
one. Bye.
Peace. Don't worry, I was gonna take that.